The Curious Mind.
All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the surprising connection between sitcoms and supernovas. And in the process, we're going to uncover a kind of universal secret we all use to make sense of the world, from TV punchlines all the way to the origins of the universe itself. So what do Sheldon Cooper and the Big Bang have in common? I know, it sounds like the setup for a joke, right? One is a famously nerdy character from a TV show, and the other is, well, the beginning of literally everything we know. But the link between them actually reveals a powerful secret about how our brains grasp really complex ideas. To really get to the bottom of this, we need to look at two completely different things that, just by coincidence, happen to share the exact same name, the Big Bang Theory. And this really lays out the parallel perfectly. See, the TV show uses character tropes, like the socially awkward nerd, to make a joke land quickly and clearly. Meanwhile, the scientific theory uses analogies, like an expanding balloon, to make a mind-bendingly huge concept a little easier to picture. They're both just mental shortcuts.
And that's the crucial point. It doesn't matter if you're a sitcom writer trying to get a laugh or a physicist trying to explain the cosmos. You are facing the exact same challenge. You have to simplify things. You have to create a useful, even if it's imperfect, model of reality.
So, let's start with the science side. How in the world do you explain the beginning of everything? Well, you turn to simple comparisons, and there's one for the Big Bang that's probably the most famous of all. Yeah, this is the classic you probably heard back in school. Just imagine that galaxies are little dots drawn on the surface of a balloon. As you blow it up, all the dots move away from each other, but no single dot is the actual center of the expansion. It's a really brilliant way to help you visualize how space itself is stretching.
But here's the catch. As this Reddit user so perfectly puts it, these tools are helpful, but they aren't reality. They are, by their very definition, flawed. Think about it. A perfect analogy wouldn't be an analogy anymore. It would just be the thing itself.
And this is where you can see the limitations really start to show. The whole balloon idea breaks down fast. The universe isn't expanding into anything. Space itself is what's stretching. And unlike a balloon's curved surface, our universe seems to be geometrically flat. So, while it's a useful first step, it can honestly create as many misconceptions as it solves.
So, what's a better model? Well, some people prefer this one, the haunted hotel hallway. Okay, imagine the doors are galaxies. They aren't actually moving, but the hallway itself is magically stretching, as new bits of wall and carpet just appear between them. It's a weird image for sure, but it fixes that problem of expanding into something. It just goes to show you each analogy can highlight a different piece of the puzzle.
Okay, hold that thought about useful but imperfect models. We're going to pivot now from supernovas to sketches, because it turns out that artists use this exact same strategy. A lot of us think caricature is just about making someone look funny or distorted, but that's not really it. According to artists like Court Jones, the real goal is to amplify the specific features that make a person unique, the things that separate their face from every other face on the planet. And the process is actually incredibly systematic. An artist first has to have a baseline, a mental model of the average human head. Then they look at their subject and they identify every single way that person's face deviates from that average. Is the nose longer? Are the eyes a little wider apart? Finally, they take just those specific differences and they exaggerate. And here's the truly mind-blowing part. By intentionally distorting reality, by exaggerating it, an artist can create a portrait that feels more like the person than even a perfect photograph does. That exaggeration just triggers our brain's facial recognition in a more powerful way. So now, let's bring this whole idea of exaggeration full circle, right back to Sheldon and our sitcom. Because what is a sitcom character, really, if not a caricature of a human being? In the world of animation, there's a key principle called staging. It's all about presenting an idea or a mood or a character's personality so that it is completely and unmistakably clear to the audience. You strip away all the nuance to make the one core idea just pop. And storytelling, especially in a 22-minute sitcom, uses this exact same principle. Sitcom tropes are basically social caricatures. Take a trope like Aesop amnesia. That's when a character learns some huge lesson in one episode only to have completely forgotten it by the next one. That's just a funny exaggeration of our own tendency to backslide in real life. Or the unlucky in love character. That's the very real frustration of dating, just turned up to 11. These are all just exaggerations for the sake of clarity and comedy.
So when you put it all together, cosmology, caricature, and comedy, this really clear pattern starts to emerge. It seems we all use the same fundamental toolkit to explain complex things.
The process is universal. First, you establish a baseline, an average face, an inflating balloon. Second, you identify the key deviation. What makes this person's face unique? What part of the universe's expansion is so confusing? And third, you exaggerate that one deviation to make it crystal clear. You stretch the nose. You simplify the physics. You turn a character flaw into a hilarious running gag. It's the same method every single time.
Because ultimately, that's what any good explanation is trying to do. It's not always about achieving perfect one-to-one accuracy. It's about connection. It's about using a simplified, exaggerated, or metaphorical story to make an idea stick, to make it feel real and truly understandable.
And that leaves us with a pretty deep question to chew on. If our most powerful tools for understanding, from our science to our art, all rely on creating these simplified, distorted models of the world, what does that say about our ability to ever grasp reality as it truly is? It's definitely something to think about the next time you watch a sitcom or just stare up at the stars.
The Curious Mind.